Well, here we are a month out from the April election, and your Starved Rock local election guide is live online at StarvedRock.Media right now. Today on the air, I took a look at some of the important information that we're adding and updating at that site. Thanks to Kathleen Wayland of Wayland Financial at 128 Buckland in LaSalle for continuing to support this weekend reset. Here's how it looked in the studio this morning. I wanted to start off talking about some of the races that we're watching. Now, there is a resource that we have at StarvedRock.Media at our website, and it's a voter's guide. It's an election guide, essentially. And up there, we are curating numerous stories that we have worked on over the past several weeks and will continue to fill in there. They're not all up there, but the ones that we think are most representative and most updated, because a lot of stories update as time goes on. You'll see Oglesby's been taking on all kinds of new wrinkles over the last few weeks. So the most updated ones will be up there. So I thought I'd take a look at some of them this morning, and again, encourage you to go check out what we have up on the website to help. There's a lot to remember. There's a lot to keep track of. Here in the newsroom, I mean, each of us takes a different city, and so we do need to connect on who's doing what in what cities. It's hard to keep track of. So we're there to help keep track of it. Starting off in LaSalle, the Hicks family seems to be, storming the castle. It's all hands on deck. Come up with another allegory. In the mayoral race, Jamie Hicks is taking on Mayor Jeff Grove. So is Gary Hammers, and Tyler Thompson taking on the mayor as well. Dawn Hicks is running against incumbent Tom Patak in Ward 2 in LaSalle. That's my ward, so I feel I can speak on this. I'm not sure why anyone would run against Tom Patak. He's doing an excellent job. He's an excellent, excellent alderman. That he has any kind of challenge is ridiculous. But I guess the Hicks family is doing this. So they're all in. Doc Lavery in Ward 3 is the incumbent. He has 3 opponents this time around. One of them is a community, I wouldn't say activist, but certainly community concerned citizen, Danny Pyland, who used to run the Democratic Party in LaSalle County and now is a business owner on First Street. And she's also in charge of the City of LaSalle Foundation. She was one of the founders of that, looking to find intersections where city and people and arts and can all come together. And the idea is to grow LaSalle in other directions too, and encourage other not just business growth, but also the other things that go into making a city strong too. Breanne Hicks is running against Boo Herndon. Again, a great alderman. Not sure why anyone's running against Boo Herndon, but there you are. It's a free election. And Liz Bishop is running as a write-in for city clerk. You recall that she was the nominee who almost won state representative race, losing to Murray Briel. In DeKalb is where she lost the election pretty much. So she's running as a write-in. You're going to have to write in Liz Bishop to if you want her to be city clerk in LaSalle. In Peru, big mayoral race there, and we've known about this for some time. Ken Kolowski is the incumbent. He's being challenged by Doug Burnaby, former Peru police chief, and also certainly the administrative lieutenant there now. So very senior in the police department, very well known as well as a person and a citizen of Peru. They'd had a mayoral forum that our colleague Jeremy Aiken hosted. You can find that at the election resource guide that we have on the website, the voter's guide. And during that debate, it was interesting. They didn't agree. They agreed on some things, but certainly didn't agree on others. And the finance issue seemed to be the biggest sticking point. And it took place at the Peru Public Library. And Doug Burnaby had plenty to say on the city's financial reserves. In over 4 years, he said a reserve amount of $4.3 million had dwindled down to about nothing. And he said that experts told him that to continue in this manner would mean large property tax increases, a big cut in city services, or both. Burnaby had this solution at the forum.
So we have to have somebody, the leader, that's willing to work with city aldermen, to work with the department heads, and to work with the departments to become more strategic and not spend more than we're taking in because the reserves are gone.
Mayor Kolowski explained that $1.9 million of those reserves were needed to cover the costs of the new police department when 2 bonds fell short. Money used for the GAF project, he said, will come back thanks to a TIF district. And when IDOT wanted to repave Route 6, the city spent reserve money to move infrastructure from under the highway to under sidewalks. And Mayor Kolowski said this.
When I read what he said in the paper about a financial crisis, we're living paycheck to paycheck, and there's going to be massive tax increases, none of it's true. We made a decision together. The best thing to do is to use reserves because interest rates are so high, it didn't make any sense to bond out and borrow money at this time.
Ken Kolowski, that form, again, you can find on the website, StarvedRock.Media. Oglesby voters have a lot to decide. It's a big decision on April 1st. Should the city adopt a city manager form of government or stick with the current form of government they have, which is commissioner form? It's a yes-no question. Should the city switch to a manager form of government? The no's have organized pretty well. Except for a name, they need to brand themselves better. Oglesby residents against a city manager mandate doesn't really roll off the tongue. It says exactly who you are and what you do, but it's not really catchy. But it's branding. But I will say, Move Oglesby Forward has a beat on the branding. These are the people who want to vote yes on the issue to move to a city form of government. Oglesby currently has a commission form. Council members each run city departments. They have spending authority in their departments up to a point, and they can address issues more quickly than you usually can when you have to go through one person who's responsible for all departments, like a city manager. So you'll see these vote no signs up around Oglesby. Those are being placed by Oglesby residents against a city manager mandate. So they're voting no. And they are working to set up an informational meeting to address their side of the issue. Meanwhile, Move Oglesby Forward is moving. They are on the yes side of the issue. Obviously, they're pointing to the benefits of having a full-time city manager handling all the departments. And a city manager, they said, is more likely to be well-versed in how to do things like get grants, develop business, things like that. Move Oglesby Forward is hosting an informational meeting on Thursday at 6 at the Oglesby American Legion to hear more about why they believe this is the proper vote. The yes vote will be the proper one in that case. So that's at 6 at the Oglesby American Legion on Thursday. Again, check out StarvedRock.Media if you want to know more. But I will say this, what it comes down to, and some smart people have said this over and over and over and over again when it comes to this question of Oglesby, and that is it doesn't matter what form of government you have if you have good people running the city. Okay? That's all it comes down to. Where they don't bicker, they don't fight, they don't have feuds, they don't carry forward schoolyard disses from 20 years ago. Old rivalries, no place for that. So they did have another public forum on this where an attorney, Carl Otteson, who's also retained by the city on workplace-related legal matters, he came in and spoke at the Elks Lodge. And he did say that actually there may be a middle ground to all this.
The city council on its own could hire an administrator, and then by ordinance you set out the authority, but you still aren't taking away from the council or the mayor the appointing authority for officers and department heads.
In Utica, there's a question about Waltham School and actually whether or not to raise funds to expand it. It's pretty much a very brand new, a really new school. But Thursday night of last week, Waltham Grade School Superintendent Christy Eager was trying to sell taxpayers on an upcoming referendum. It's for a 22,000 square foot addition to the present school. Okay, and she told WLPO that the need is driven by an increase in students in the lower grades. Right now, in grades 1 through 5, students number 26 or even higher. So if the April 1st ballot question is defeated, the modular classrooms now in use will likely stay, but they're going to tack on another 21 cents per $100 assessed valuation. If you say yes in Waltham, taxes go up 43 cents per $100 assessed valuation. They're going to stay there for 25 years until the close to $10 million addition is paid off. And we asked eager what the mood of the voters is.
We've heard from some people that are for the addition to our building. Some people really still have a lot of questions. People don't quite understand why we need something, an addition already. We're only in our 6th year here in our building. We really are just trying to get the facts out to our community. So if anybody has questions, just applaud them to reach out to me here at school. Go to our website. We have a lot of FAQs on our website that are answering the questions that a lot of people do have.
There is another race for Sal Peru Township High School Board, and this is interesting. 4 people on the ballot for 4 seats, so each one essentially is running unopposed. One of them, though, Sam Sankovich, has passed away just recently. Sam died at age 46. It's just a sad thing. He was a good man. So it's too late to take him off the ballot legally, so he's staying on the ballot, Sam Sankovich is, in the LP High School Board race. And so once he is appointed, he will win election because his name is one of 4 for 4 seats. Then Superintendent Dr. Stephen Robleski of LP will ask for applications to fill the seat that has become vacated by Sam's death. So sad there, and we'll be following that as it develops. You can count on full and updated coverage as the political season continues in this last month of the race. And of course, we're going to have all hands on deck to bring you the results on April 1st. Thanks, Kathleen Whalen, for your friendship and your support. And I'll talk to you in the morning.